Communication is our second foundational block in our team building module. So what is communication? It's the process of sending and receiving information, right? For a team to properly function, it's also about the information exchange protocols put into place. Let's also keep in mind the importance of quality over quantity. Another way of thinking about this is communication is the process that gets us to our goals. What do we want this process to look like in the context of our PWC board? For our PWC ministry work, let's break this down into 3 areas: the help of personality assessments, debriefs, and board bondings. So, number 1, the help of personality assessments. Take a look around the room again. The ladies sitting with you all have significant differences from you. A variety of upbringings, experiences, abilities and talents, weaknesses and hurts all fill the room. Yet, there are 2 common bonds. You were each intentionally formed by God for His purposes, and you each love Him. What an amazing opportunity to learn more about who God is by getting to know others He's made in His image. And even better, to get to serve His kingdom together. This is exciting. At the same time, this opportunity will also present challenges as we learn to work with others different from ourselves, right? During the next break, you'll have the opportunity to discuss a personality assessment. We know you've spent a lot of time during a previous session about conflict resolution. So this is not a brand new concept. Part of our purpose is to help equip you in identifying and appreciating the unique differences that your whole team brings to the table. A better understanding of your personality and those of your teammates will be an important part of building and growing your team. Remember, a team of experts does not necessarily make an expert team. I can't wait for you all to experience the joys and surprises you'll discover together during this group activity. Okay, number 2, let's talk debriefs. The military likes to use an acronym called AARs, which stands for After Action Reviews. Most of you will have the opportunity to write up your AAR after a specific PWC event or function. But that's not the complete picture of what I'm referring to. A debrief in a team context is a group discussion that includes gathering information, examining or investigating with the purpose of assessing the mission's results. Debriefing as a team can and should be done often and can cover any part of your ministry. Your monthly board meetings are perfect times to conduct these debriefs. Some examples might be debriefing your fall or spring kickoff programs, debriefing an in-reach or outreach event, or even just debriefing a regular PWC morning. Here are 4 guidelines for creating a successful debrief. Number 1, agree ahead of time on the process of your debrief. In Colossians 3:12-17, Paul exhorts the Christians in Colossae to clothe themselves in kindness and gentleness, to bear with each other and forgive each other, to put on the virtue of love above all else, and to be thankful. This message certainly applies to us. What will this look like in your debriefs? Let's take a short detour here to bring up the subject of tone of voice. We've all been in a situation when someone else has spoken to us in a tone of voice that was negative. Whether intentional or not, that tone hurts. And I'm sure we've all experienced at least one time in our lives when we've spoken that tone to another, right? A negative tone is kind of like a smelly car that carries a message from one place to another. That stinky car can greatly change how the message originated to how it was received. A message with intentions that are like a sweet fragrance can instantly turn into an extremely off-putting stench just by the wrong tone. On the flip side, using a more pleasant tone can help something difficult be more easily received. Paul reminds us in Philippians chapter 4, verse 5, to let your gentleness be evident to all. Our tone of voice is as important as the content of our message. Okay, back to our debrief guidelines. Number 2, agree ahead of time on the goal of each debrief. What is the end result? Ultimately, we each want to walk away having learned because of that debrief discussion. Learning requires us to have a certain posture, a posture of receiving, doesn't it? Think about what a difference this mindset can have in a group debrief. Number 3, ensure you have a mature moderator at the helm. This individual will ensure time boundaries, balanced feedback, and dialogue are the priorities. Your team needs to trust the moderator's leadership in this role, okay? All right, and number 4, finish well. Look, it's hard to receive feedback when it's not, everything you just did for PwC was amazing. It's hard to receive correction and ideas that are different from ours. Let's just all say that out loud, right? But if your team can create an environment that feels safe to speak and receive loving and honest feedback, you as an individual will grow, your team will grow, and your PwC ministry will receive the fruit of that labor. Okay, let's recap real quick. We discussed personality assessments. We unpacked debriefs. Let's talk about our third and final area in working on the process of communication on a PwC board. You ready? Board bonding. So what is it and why do it? Well, board bonding is that space to connect with ladies on your team separate from the work and planning of PwC activities. Think going bowling together, a game night, a lunch outing. Quality activities and/or quality conversations that are not about your PwC work. The purpose of board bonding is to develop relationships with and get to know your teammates, to build trust and God-honoring memories, and to invest in the atmosphere of your team. There are 2 aspects to consider here in the value of board bonding. First, all work plus no play equals no fun. When the work becomes too laborious, it can lose joy and ultimately motivation. Second, investing in the joy of time spent with your team apart from meeting goals and doing work significantly adds to the trust within your team. The natural return will be more empathy for one another, an ease in your partnership, smoother and faster debriefs during meetings, and a general increase in trust within your team and with each other. Okay, let's wrap up this communications module together. The process of getting to our goals requires sending and receiving messages and the consideration of the information exchange protocols to implement personality assessments, debriefs, and board bonding. When the month of May rolls around, you each want to be stronger and wiser daughters of the King. You want your service to Him, the process, and the finished result to be honoring to Him. Now you'll have a chance for your break and plenty of discussion surrounding these communication topics.